Good day, and thank you for watching. If you are considering divorce or are already going through one in California, it is important to understand how the process works and what your rights and obligations are. Divorce can be one of the most challenging experiences a person goes through, both emotionally and legally. Today, I'm going to walk you through the fundamentals of divorce law in California, how cases begin, how property is divided, and what factors courts consider when making decisions about children and support. Let's start with the basics. California is a no-fault divorce state. This means that you do not have to prove wrongdoing, such as infidelity or misconduct, to file for divorce. The most common ground is irreconcilable differences, which simply means the marriage cannot be repaired. To file for divorce in California, at least one spouse must meet the residency requirements. Generally, this means living in the state for at least 6 months, and in the county where the case is filed for at least 3 months. Once a divorce petition is filed and served, the legal process begins. The responding spouse has a limited time to file a response. If they do not respond, the case may proceed by default, which can significantly affect the outcome. Now let's talk about community property. California is a community property state. This means that, in general, any assets or debts acquired during the marriage are considered jointly owned and are divided equally between the spouses. This includes income, real estate, retirement accounts, and even debts such as credit cards or loans. However, not all property is community property. Separate property, such as assets owned before the marriage, inheritances, or gifts received by one spouse, may remain with that individual, provided it has not been mixed with community assets. Determining what is community versus separate property can sometimes be complex, especially when assets have been combined or commingled over time. Next, let's discuss spousal support, also known as alimony. Spousal support may be awarded to help one spouse maintain financial stability after the separation. There are 2 types: temporary support, which is ordered during the divorce process, and long-term support, which may be ordered after the divorce is finalized. Courts consider several factors when determining support, including the length of the marriage, the standard of living during the marriage, each spouse's income and earning capacity, and their respective needs. There is no fixed formula for long-term support, which means outcomes can vary depending on the circumstances. Now let's turn to child custody and visitation. When children are involved, the court's primary concern is the best interest of the child. Custody is divided into 2 types: legal custody, which refers to the right to make decisions about the child's health, education, and welfare, and physical custody, which refers to where the child lives. Courts often encourage joint custody arrangements, but the final decision depends on factors such as the child's needs, the parent's ability to cooperate, and the overall stability of each household. Visitation schedules are designed to ensure that children maintain a meaningful relationship with both parents whenever possible. Another important issue is child support. Child support is calculated using a statewide formula that considers both parents' incomes, the amount of time each parent spends with the child, and other relevant factors. The goal is to ensure that the child's financial needs are met in a fair and consistent manner. Failure to pay child support can result in serious consequences, including wage garnishment and other enforcement actions. Let's also discuss the timeline. In California, there is a mandatory 6-month waiting period from the date the divorce is filed and served before it can be finalized. This means that even in the simplest cases, divorce takes time. More complex cases, especially those involving significant assets or disputes, can take much longer. Now let's talk about settlement versus litigation. Not all divorce cases go to trial. In fact, many are resolved through negotiation, mediation, or collaborative processes. Settlement can save time, reduce costs, and provide more control over the outcome. However, if an agreement cannot be reached, the case may proceed to court, where a judge will make the final decisions. Another critical aspect is documentation and preparation. Divorce involves financial disclosures including income, expenses, assets, and debts. Providing accurate and complete information is essential. Failure to disclose information can lead to penalties and negatively affect your case. Keeping organized records and understanding your financial situation can help you make informed decisions throughout the process. Finally, let's address common mistakes. One of the most common mistakes is making decisions based solely on emotion. Divorce is personal, but it is also a legal process that requires careful planning and strategy. Another mistake is failing to understand the long-term impact of agreements, especially when it comes to property division and support. And perhaps most importantly, some individuals delay taking action or fail to respond to legal documents, which can result in unfavorable outcomes. In conclusion, divorce law in California is structured but flexible, with outcomes influenced by a variety of factors. Understanding the process, knowing your rights, and approaching your case with clarity and preparation can make a significant difference. Whether your case is straightforward or complex, being informed allows you to make decisions that protect your future. Thank you for watching. Stay informed, stay prepared, and approach this process with knowledge and confidence.